I welcome to all the participants in this our Archaeology and Museums Heritage of India course. This is our sixth session. I most welcome to Dr. Nagendra Rawat sir also. First of all, just I want to introduce Dr. Nagendra Rawat sir. He's also assistant professor in Department of History and Archaeology, Garhwal Central University, Srinagar, Garhwal, Uttarakhand. He completed his PhD in archaeology in an ethnographic, archaeological, and geoinformatics study of medieval Gadis. We called here Gadi, here Gad, forts of Garhwal, Himalaya. His publications, more than 12 research papers, participation and paper presentations in national and international conferences and seminars. He delivered a talk as a resource person in many workshops, training, summer school programs. His academic responsibilities as a member of Indian Himalayan Central University's Consortium Group, then member as organizing committee of national and international webinars. His experience as a teaching for the UG and PG classes. And then most interesting thing for me is that archaeological explorations and archaeological excavations. He explored more than 60 medieval sites, forts in Garhwal, Himalayan region of Uttarakhand. And then archaeological computing lab, which is also one more interesting thing for me. He prepared GIS maps of forts dotted in Garhwal, Himalayan region of Uttarakhand, identification of lost forts in Garhwal region using open source satellite images, reconstruction of a digital 3D model of Chandpur Fort of Garhwal, Himalaya using SketchUp software, digital mapping of Chandkot Fort and Chandpur Fort using Total Station tool and AutoCAD application. Membership of academic organizations. Is a lifetime member of Society of South Asian Archaeology, then Indian Archaeological Society, New Delhi, Indian Society of Prehistoric and Quaternary Studies, then Uttarakhand History and Cultural Association also. So, being as a history student, I most welcome to Nagendra Rawat sir. Basically, I'm from civil engineering, and before of that, I am from electronic science. Two most important books. One is Museums, a New Year of Technology, and another important book, Museums, a Guide for Digital Networking. So this is my interesting. Today I am also very happy and eager to listen your lecture. So thanks a lot to welcome here. And now please give your talk. Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bobade, and thank you. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay, that's good. Thank you, the Deccan Archaeological and Cultural Research Institute, and as well as the PANAS organization, who is regularly working in the field of culture, history, heritage, archaeology, and different part of India. So, मैं आप सबका बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ, and I am also thankful to all the participants who have joined here and who have enrolled themselves to in this short-term course. I must say that technically it is a short-term course, but I was looking in the content which the few of our senior colleagues, and they have delivered their talks on very important issues and topics. So it is not a short-term course. It is a short-term course, but it's a very informative and very good good platform for all the newcomers and for all the established archaeologists and new students as well. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting me so that I can share my experience and my views on particularly on the archaeological exploration. And basically, when I was talking with the Mr. Rajkumar, he was asking me that, Mr. Why you want to ask on the Himalayan archaeology? Why you have choose this archaeological exploration particularly? I told him that because archaeological, in my view, archaeological exploration is the first step. To conduct any archaeological research. If you do not need, if do not know that what is an archaeological exploration and what is its importance and how to conduct it and what are the traditional methodologies of it, and what are the advanced technologies which are being used worldwide in archaeological explorations. So that's why I took this uh, topic to deliver this talk. So, if can I present my PowerPoint slide here? So, you're just okay. So I think just let me check it. Okay. Mr. Babat, I'm not getting it. That how this?
In your laptop or computer,
Yeah,
downside there is a turn on captions and right side of that present now.
yeah, yeah. Here it is.
Uh, Downside, yeah,
Yeah,
right,
okay.
right.
I
Present
got
now,
that.
and then click on your entire screen.
Okay. Yeah, yes, I, I got it.
Then again click on that. Yes, okay. Now we can see.
So, are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, yes.
That's good. So, basically, this is understanding archaeological. I could say that there are many established archaeological researcher or established the faculty of archaeology must have joined this course also. So they must be knowing that what is the archaeological exploration at all. But who are the newcomers in this field and who are not directly related to the archaeology? They belongs to museum, they belong to history and other, but like you are basically an engineer. So I think this is a hot topic for all of us. So let me begin. The some questions generally arises in our mind when we talk about the archaeological explorations, and the major questions in my view are: the first question is, what is the archaeological exploration, how it is different from exploration, and why it is called archaeological exploration. The next one is, what is history, because the archaeology has its very interesting and vast history, and at the same time the exploration technique also has its huge history and very interesting history. I will come on that later. The next question generally arises that who can explore, where we can explore, what are the archaeological features on ground, to whom we can explore, how to identify them, what are the necessary tools or techniques, or we can say goods for and during the archaeological exploration. These are the basic questions which generally arise in the common man's mind, and even in the mind of the any researcher and archaeologists, or we can say historians also as well, who are willing to work in archaeological perspective. So it is very generally known that archaeological exploration is basically a kind of research, a kind of investigation to uh, ungather the site, the historical site, or the site belongs to human past. The site could belongs to you, site could belongs to me, and any site can belongs to any human society and tribes and any country as well. So that where we have to explore, and how how the archaeological exploration took place in practice. Then we need to know first of all, then when we are going to explore something, we need to set our mind for archaeology. Like let me give you some example that why it is an archaeological exploration, because when we are moving from one place to another place, either by foot, by vehicle, or by any kind of mode, so we need to open our eyes, our ears, and our mind as well, so that we can identify that what are the features are surrounding us, and how we can see those features from archaeological perspective. So the archaeological exploration nothing but to see our landscape, our hinterlandscape or landscape, whatever you can see from archaeological point of view. This is generally a general archaeological exploration in my view. Yes, okay, it could be different. Then you have to plan your bag, you have to prepare your bag and to go in some different valleys and different regions to explore some different uh, new archaeological site. It could be. But where you are living, where you are sitting right now, and where you have to move after this lecture, and where from you came, from your house, from your home. So in between, whatever distance you have covered, then that entire region also gives you an opportunity to see the landscape from archaeological perspective. Next, it's history. Uh, the archaeology and the history of archaeology itself is begin and is come to the first find when we can call is treasure hunt. Generally, आज भी अगर हम देखते हैं तो treasure hunt is the first term which comes in our mind when we talk about archaeology. That they people must have doing treasure hunting. So the the first phase in archaeological exploration, I can say it was treasure hunt. However, we cannot say that it was particularly archaeology because archaeology is a systematic study or is a systematic and scientific study of human past, and the treasure hunt is not at all a study, but it is an exploration. Although it was for individual, it was for individual organization, or it was for individual state. The next phase, which comes in the archaeological exploration, it was the phase of dilettanti. I think you must be knowing this term, is Italian term, dilettanti. And after this dilettanti, it means dilettanti का मतलब होता है कि एक एक ऐसा एज अ ग्रुप हम इसे बोल सकते हैं कि जो हिस्टोरिकल एंटिक्विटीज में या आर्कियोलॉजिकल एंटिक्विटीज में कल्चरल एंटिक्विटीज में जो लोग इंटरेस्ट रखते थे एंड दे स्टार्टेड collecting the antiquities, and they make their own collection in their houses and later on they started selling it, purchasing, selling. So this kind of phase also had come in the history of archaeology. We can say worldwide, even in India also. So at the next phase, the the archaeology, when we can say that the where archaeology begins, the proper archaeology, which is now we are doing and other peoples are also doing. This is the archaeology, the scientific study of human civilization. So we can see the archaeological exploration taken place as treasure hunt. It took place as a dilettante, as a group of dilettante, and it is surviving in today in the name of archaeology. Okay, so in archaeological exploration, the next point, the question which I prepared, it is who can explore? Who can explore? Here I have, I can show you that a common man can explore a site, but with some restrictions. Because a common man can do it research. Generally, it is called open researcher. Okay, but the common man cannot excavate because for an excavation they use rules and regulations made by any government, even in India. So the second is a researcher, but that a researcher must be affiliated with an institution and who or whomsoever are working on a uh, uh, particular topic, or we can say to solve a particular issue. The next, a university. or institute. The department where we are working, I think most of people you are working in a university or institute, they also can do the can conduct an archaeological explorations. And the second, a specific department like Archaeological Survey of India, they also can they also can conduct the archaeological exploration in any field. Uh, where we can explore, it is completely depends on your interest and your research issues, on what issues you want to work, or uh, you want to work or you are working, right? Where we can explore, river valleys are the areas where researchers do their archaeological explorations, because we know that the human civilization, if you see in the history of any country, any village, any country, anywhere in the world, we see the human settlements are nearby the river valleys, dune areas also. If you want to work, if you want to work with for some historical site or prehistoric sites, so dune areas are very important for that. Like fossil valleys are somehow river valleys, but fossil valleys are much older than river valleys we are seeing today in any frame. So fossil valleys are most important for those who want to who are in search of prehistoric uh, findings. The next, dense forests are the area which even I will come on that why dense forests are nowadays are becoming more attractive places for the archaeologists, because uh, recently, I think you people might have seen that news that some of the archaeologists, some of the researchers have found a huge signature of civilization. They have traced that site or that entire area through drone photography, and they did later on they did some radar analysis over there, and they got an entire town over there. Under that dense forest. So dense forests are again the most important areas to be explored. The next, settlement areas. These are the settlement areas are means where we are living today. These are the established settlement areas. Like in India, most of the archaeological sites are uh, nearby the settled area where the people are, where the modern settlements uh, are. Okay, so we need to explore those area as well for historical archaeology values. Next, underwater archaeology. Even in India, there are very limited researches having done in this direction. But even though we have a very good research, particularly in Gujarat area, in Dwarika or Dwarika, we can see. So it is all depends on your research mind or your research questions, that what particular topic or what particular issue you want to explore. Accordingly, you have to choose your areas, either river valleys, fossil valleys, underwater areas, dense forest, dune areas, mountains, any kind of area. So these are the most important area for an archaeological researcher. Next, it is sorry. What are the archaeological features? Generally, it is a very common question of most of the students and common men as well, that how we can identify uh, any archaeological site. What are the features which we can see through our naked eyes? So, first of all, mounts. As we all know that the mounts are any mount could be an archaeological site for archaeological values. Depressions are, and in general, in a one term, in a one sentence, we can say any kind of unnatural feature. Unnatural feature could be an archaeological site. Any kind of unnatural feature uh, can be can be an archaeological site. So we need to explore those sites. But how to explore? The again main questions come on the screen, that how to explore, and this is the major thing. How to explore? How to explore give us an idea to define the methodology. What kind of methodology we can adopt, we can use, and what kind of methodology are being used worldwide in archaeological exploration. We need to discuss them. Generally, it is known that method of archaeological exploration generally divided into two categories. One is traditional methods, and second scientific, or we can say modern methods. So, in traditional methods, uh, I know that this is a very common thing, the chance finding. Chance finding. We generally studied this particular paper in our masters, but the importance of chance finding, we can see the importance of chance findings and other traditional methods with some data, like the importance of chance finding. Chance finding is a method, or is a, we can say, the chance that which can happen with you, with me, and with anyone in any time, because we have some remarkable archaeological sites worldwide in different areas of world, in India, even in your area, in my area also. For example, I must tell that the Lascaux, the world famous prehistoric painting located in France, was discovered by chance. The Altamira site is located in the Spain, was further discovered by chance. And even though, if we come to India, we see the Harappa, which is the most important site, or we can say civilization for the history of entire world. The first finding of Harappa was chance finding. It was discovered in 1856. I think most of you people know that the 1856, I think I must be right. The 1856 May, when a railway line was constructing between Lahore to Karachi. So some seals and some pot sets, some bricks came to on surface, and the John Brunton, the officer of that time, brought all these findings to Alexander Cunningham and said that these are some of material which we are getting during our railway construction. But at that time, Alexander Cunningham had denied the importance, and I think why. But the Alexander Cunningham said that it must be a historical or modern bricks. So it is not at all of a historical or archaeological importance. So they refused the importance of the of the Harappan artifacts in the year of 1856. But it was again it was a chance finding. Next, if you talk about Ajanta is again, yeah, Ajanta is a good example of the chance finding. It was happened in the 1819, when a British officer, I think John Smith was uh, traveling in that area, and he has discovered all the caves of Ajanta by chance. So the chance finding is has the most important role in the archaeology of India and world as well. Uh, and the Ajanta, most of people that what is Ajanta and why Ajanta is famous. But I must be telling that Ajanta is one of the most important site, not only for its architecture but also for its sculpture, for its painting. So this kind of important site was discovered by chance. Again, the next traditional method is literary sources. Literary sources, this is a book cover of Basil Alcer. So, but this is in this illustration, you can see the historicity of the Mahabharata. We know that the Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Mahabharata, and we have lots of other text, Vedic text with us, and at the same time we have some European literature on the basis of some European archaeologists or some we can say dilettanti, some treasure hunter. They have they started to find those sites which have been mentioned in the literature, and one of the most important example is the discovery of Troy, which was discovered in 1884, I think, 1884 by uh, Henry Suleiman. So he discovered the world famous site in Troy with the help of Iliad. It is I think poet of the Homer's. So with the same tradition, with the same following the same tradition, the Indian archaeologists also have tried to study the Indian ancient Indian text and try to explore all those sites which are mentioned in these literary sources. And we know that some of the sites like Hastinapur, like Kosambi, like Taxila are was discovered uh, with this source. And even though people are still working in this direction, now you must be knowing that the Ram Setu issue is very burning issue nowadays. And again, the Dwarika, uh, uh, Alok sir has discovered and claimed that they have discover the lost Dwarka city under the sea. So we have literary resources with us. So people are working on the basis of those references. So this could be a start for your archaeological exploration, and it is not that mean that you need to focus all the great Indian epics or like Purana, and you can go or any a researcher can use their local literary sources. The literary sources belongs to your area, belongs to my region, belongs to your district, your state. So we can explore those literary sources to explore the old sites or the historical site or the archaeological site as well. So, like in our state, Uttarakhand, we have discovered one and two sites which was mentioned in literary sources, and the people have tried to explore them, and they have found the sites. So those are the literature or the literary documents are very important, are very important for the for any archaeological exploration. If we can, if we know that how to use that data. The next one is surface indication. I think Otasar, Professor Otasar must have told you that uh, how to search an prehistoric site. So prehistoric, if you are willing to search a prehistoric site or in sometimes some historical site, you need to visit uh, the potential area after rain. So the after the season or after rain uh, is generally known a good time for the archaeological field work, because after rain you the dust, or we can see the soil of the on of the surface washed out, and the washed out, and in sometimes some archaeological feature came to the surface. Many of sites we can see that sometimes we see in news, in some social media, that some temple has came out after the rain under the road. Okay, so surface indication as is also important method to explore a site, but at the same time, we need to an experienced person with us who can identify, particularly in terms of when we are exploring a prehistoric site or stone tool site. So we need to we have an understanding about the natural stones and the man-made stones. That what are the stone tools and what are the natural stone breaking basically. So we need experience, or we need an experience, or we need an experienced person with us during surface survey of any area. The next thing is the scientific method. In scientific, however, we are living in modern world, we are living in scientific world, and we are using most of the scientific gadgets in any sector of our life. But at the same time, we cannot forget the importance of the traditional method which we have just discussed. The magnetometer. It is not such new methods in scientific exploration history, but it is a very important method to explore a site without destructing it. So in this illustration, the people who are not who are non-archaeological background, they can understand how the people do magnetometer survey on the field and what kind of data they get after processing it on the computer. So in first image, we can see a person is holding that magnetometer and they are scanning the ground. In second image, we can see how it works. How it works, and in third image, we can see the what kind of result we get after this particular exercise. So this kind of uh, exploratory work people are doing worldwide, and even uh, many part of India as well. And this is again an important method to know the information about under the surface. It is the electron resistivity method. We can say at the same time it is known as electric resistivity method, electron resistivity method. We can whatever you can see. Okay, so, but how it works? It for in your screen you can see that we need a resistance tester. We need to basically electrode, and then how it works in third image. We can see that from a particular from one point which is a source of that electron, where from the electron are moving and they are going to the remote probes, and they are receiving the signals, they are receiving the waves, and in between the readings of this entire process are capturing in the computer, and that gives a picture of this area which is being surveyed. Just so this kind of result we get after this electricity resistance analysis. Uh, and next and most we can say important and most we can say that most of people most of archaeological researcher and are using these two terminology in their researches like GIS and remote sensing. These are not directly related with archaeology, but these two methodology or these two tools are being used in archaeological exploration nowadays. I will come on that what is GIS and what is remote sensing. But first, you need. I want to show these three pictures of a same site to show that uh, how remote sensing. I will come on GIS, but first we need to see the remote sensing. Remote sensing, I think most of people that remote sensing is science which is completely based on the sensors. Uh, Sensors which never touched any ground physically. They sense uh, the surface from a distance. In generally, the remote sensing technique developed from the aerial photography, and nowadays we are using some satellite image also to detect the sites in some areas where a researcher cannot go, or like some inaccessible areas. So this if a site is located in inaccessible areas, so how we can explore it? So we can use that remote sensing data to know that what kind of archaeological features are over there. But what we face uh, in this point, I must say that you people are must be using the Google Earth software, and what Google Earth gives us, it gives us satellite imagery of Earth. Okay, so but the issue is it generally gives us the image which are with, like first image, okay, where you can see the forest, like green forest, or whatever feature the camera has seen and captured. But but there at the same time there are some advanced satellites are also available, which can penetrate the vegetation, like if there is a forest, or there is some kind of use dense, like if there's cloud in between the site and between the camera of the satellite. So some satellites, some cameras, or some data are generated by some sensors can penetrate those clouds, those dense forests, then that vegetations, and can identify the features are exist on ground. In these image we can see the what is the difference between first image and the third image. The third image you can see there are some unnatural features which I have discussed in, I think, first and second slide, that some unnatural features, if you are seeing some unnatural features on ground, then it you must think that it must be, or it could be an archaeological site, or uh, some settlement was there. Okay, so this is the importance of remote sensing in archaeological exploration. So it was an example which I took from internet, and there is another example of remote sensing, so that you can know that why people are using such remote sensing data, or such satellite data for their archaeological researches. So in these two images, you can very well know, you can very well understand that the importance of satellite imagery. However, at this point, I must tell you that this image which you are seeing in next to is based on the lidar data. Lidar data is lidar is basically satellite imagery of America. It is a very expensive data which can give you the precise data of any part of the earth, and they can, and this kind of satellite, this kind of, they have a very high resolution, so you can identify any feature on ground, either it is 2 centimeter or 4 centimeter as well. So that's why the people are using this kind of data in archaeological exploration. And uh, uh, after confirmation of the site in in your lab, because before the modern technology arise, what we did, what we was generally doing, that we was doing archaeology in field, and then we comes to lab, and then process the data. But in modern archaeology, we first do our lab work with some kind of such kind of such kind of remote sensing imageries, and then we go to the site after the confirmation of site. So this is a very interesting and very advanced technology in archaeological exploration which is being used. So okay, and the next image, this is I think you can see better. These are the three images of same site. This image I have put here because this site was I have discovered this site on Google Earth, because in previous site you can see that the radar data is very expensive, so that anyone cannot afford that for their, even for that, for our academic researchers, when we are doing PhD, when we are doing our masters. Okay, so we cannot purchase the radar data. There are very limitations uh, from the government side also, and the cost of uh, this satellite data is very expensive as well. So, but this image will amaze you to know that how we can identify the archaeological feature even in the open source software like Google Earth. Okay, we have our satellite imagery system in India that's called Bhuvan, but Google Earth is more good, is much good data which provide to us to explore any site from space. So in this in this side we can see, or you all people can see that this is I hope you can see my cursor over the screen, cursor.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so
Yes, yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you can see that here some unnatural feature are observing, and these lines. Okay, these are not again natural features. This is the ridge. Okay, and the people, the resident of this particular settlement, they dig these lines, and these are basically ditches. Okay, and it is a I think it is a medieval fort, or early medieval fort in this part of Himalaya. And even, yes, again, interesting thing is this: the imagery which I'm showing you, it is located in Himalayan region. This is a mountainous region, not at all a
Which
plain region.
region? Is it Garhwal or Kumaon Himalayan region?
Yeah, this is in Garhwal Himalayan region.
Garhwal
If you will
Himalayan.
see, yeah, if you see the map of the Garhwal Himalaya, it is in Yamuna Valley, uh, in the borderland of Himachal Pradesh. If you see in the map, so it is like Kalsi. I think some of people, you know, that Mussoorie of Dehradun. People
Yes,
visit that.
sir.
Okay, so it is nearby the Mussoorie. Okay, it is just different side of that river. Mussoorie is in left bank, and this side is in right bank of the Yamuna River. Okay, so we can see. It was my intention to show you that what kind of data we can get by using the Google Earth open source software. So we don't need to purchase that radar data and that such kind of high data like list 4 data of Indian government also. So you can use your Google Earth and you can find such kind of data, and you can see the date over the image here. The first image was captured, I think, in uh, July 2012. Next image was captured in January 2014, and third was captured in 2015. So there is a historical timeline in Google Earth also. If you people are using that, if you have not used yet till now, so you must
At
use
some
that.
moment we can use, right? Google Earth software.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can use that, and you can see the historical imagery of a particular location to which you want to explore. Okay, so you can get a different imagery like this. Okay, you can
All
see.
these photographs, all the imageries are from Google Earth, captured from Google Earth.
Yes, yes, and Google Earth is basically generally general term. Basically, it is a iconos. It is the iconos data, which is American data as well. Okay, but it is the iconos data. Iconos is a satellite of America. So we will generally know it as Google Earth. So okay, it must go on with Google Earth. So okay, you people can use such kind of imagery to identify uh, archaeological sites. I think I missed this. Okay. The next thing, the GPS and the total station. Somehow I think Mr. Bobre must be using the GPS and total station in his teaching, in his education. So, but for archaeologists, because most of archaeology students are unfamiliar with the GPS and some total stations as well. Okay, but nowadays, if you want to explore a site, if you are willing to explore a site, you need to take a GPS. Sometimes we have GPS in our mobile, we have GPS in our cameras, but even though you must carry a separate GPS because it gives you accurate data as compared to your mobile GPS or your camera GPS. So what GPS can give you, what GPS can give you, and and how we can use a total station and what a total station survey can give us. I will show you that. So basically, for GPS, the people who have not used the GPS till now, I want to tell you that the GPS is a technology to identify the uh, geo- geographic location, the exact geographic location with coordinates, latitude, longitude, even with the altitudinal detail of a particular site. So, if you are in field and you have a GPS with you, then you need to look that your three satellites are working at the same time, so that minimum three satellites, because if the red circle is your site, so that for the precise location of this site, you need to see that your GPS are receiving signals at least from three satellites, so that you can see, you can say that your location is somehow okay. So, and after getting the data from your GPS, what we can do and what people do, what archaeologists do with the data. GPS data is nothing but some dots, nothing but some numbers. But when we process this data in GIS basically geographical information system. It is a system. It is a software basically developed to analyze the spatial data. So when we collect the GPS data in the form of coordinates, we can plot all those coordinates on the map using the GIS software. Okay, because GIS is a good software. It works with the world geographic coordinates, so we can you can put your map and you can work with the different layers over there. Like you can put your drainage map over there, you can put your data which you have collected during your field work, you can put over layer by layer. Okay, so after processing all the data, you can get such kind of maps with you. So this is very common. This is not a very big thing which I am telling you, but this is very important thing for an archaeologist or for a researcher if you are willing to do a real archaeological survey. So this is the a result of archaeological survey. I think the people who are familiar with the Uttarakhand, they can identify the Garhwal region and the Kumaon region, and these are the sites which are you are seeing on your screen. The red dots are major forts of the Garhwal Himalaya region, and the others, the white dots are uh, small fortresses of this region. The entire data was collected by me in last 5 and 6 years by using GPS and Google Earth as well, because Google Earth also gives you the coordinate of any place of the world. So you can use Google Earth, and you must use first the GPS, good GPS. And next, again, if we see that after getting the such kind of
Sir,
data like this, yeah, excuse me.
sir, GPS device, it can be like only used by institutes or can be purchasable by students also
No, the GPS
researchers.
is now available. A student can purchase it, but you have to show your identity there, that your ID cards and other things as well. So it is in public domain nowadays, I think. So you can purchase, anyone can purchase. But if you are going to borderland areas or in some areas which are in conflict zone, like you can understand what I am trying to say. So
Yes,
if you are
sir.
going to borderland area, then you need to take the permission of that particular district administration, which are in borderland or which are in conflict zone. So you need to use like I think you must have heard about the satellite phone, the satellite phone.
Yes,
If
sir.
you are carrying a satellite phone, then you need to you need government permission and some permission from the local authority as well. So it is okay then nowadays, because GPS, you can see the GPS are in your smartphone. GPS are enabled in most of the smart camera today. So it is not a big issue.
Then with the
So
help
anyone
of
can.
GPS, with the help of GPS, we can measure the area, and with the help of GIS, we can plot the map.
With the help of GPS, you can collect the information of site. You can collect the exact location of the site. The GPS
Which,
can only.
which
Yeah.
information can be collected, sir, with the help of GPS? For example,
GPS only can give you the latitude, the longitude, and the elevation of that particular site. Okay. So, and now you can say that then how that coordinates are important for me or for any student. The coordinates are of any site are very important for archaeological researchers. Like the map which you are seeing on your screen, you can say that the all these dots are medieval forts or fortalics, some of major, some of minor. But all these are located in that precise location where you are seeing that those dots on your screen. So all these data were collected by using the GPS. Okay, and after collecting the data in the sense the coordinate of the site, after collecting all the coordinates in GPS on field, you come to the lab and you process this data. You transfer your GPS data like you do with your mobile phone. You connect your mobile with your laptop and you transfer all your files, all your files from your mobile to your computer. The same thing you need to do with GPS. You need to connect your GPS with your laptop or your working whatever you're using. So you need to shift, you need to import all these locations from your GPS to your computer. And if you are using a GIS software, you can see all the collected locations on a map if you have a base map with you. Because for a research, you need or you have to collect the base map of your study area with you wherever you are working. So after getting the base map, you can plot all the sites on your map, and you can get the distribution, and you can see the how the pattern are there. So okay, but what after that? If we can get if we have got this kind of map, then what it is showing? It is showing that okay, it is some distribution of some site in some area. What else? But if you are using GIS, what I'm telling you, there is a GIS is a nothing but a software. There are some analysis menus there, so you can do few analysis with your map with the help of GIS. Like you can generate your contours, you can generate your land use, land cover areas, like whatever you want to do in my research. What analysis I use the network analysis of that GIS application in this area which you are seeing on your screen. And what I got this this result. Okay, in first the in situ image, you can see that this is the study area of mine, and all the dots you are seeing on your screen, these are the location of the medieval sites. You can see some of them are forts, big forts, but some of are small fortresses. But the lines which you are seeing are connecting some dots is a network analysis which, which I have done in network analysis uh, menu of GIS software. Okay, ArcGIS software. So what it gives me an idea that how these locations were connected some thousand year back. Okay, so this kind of analysis you can do with your digital data. Next, uh, it is a it is a total station. it is generally being used by surveyor. I think Mr. Bovade must can tell you more about it. But from an archaeological perspective, I will show that how it is important and how people, how archaeology students or archaeologists are using such total station equipment in archaeological researches. Like, see, this is a medieval fort where I have worked, and the lines you are looking on your screen, these are the contours, and all this entire area mapped was mapped by using the total station uh, tool instrument. Okay, so before the using the total station equipment, in my record, I had only data of the two structure with me, the structure one and the structure two. But when we started the total station survey at the site, it gives additional information to us, which is structure three. Okay, Bobade must be knowing that the for or during a total station survey, we need a team. Some people are holding reflectors, some are using the main instrument, and they collect the data. But we in this practice, we need uh, to explore, or we need to visit each inch by inch of the site. So it also gives uh, some additional data to us. But it is not only about to map the site and to generate some contour of the site. It also gives us, it also gives liberty, or it also allow us uh, to generate some cross section of that entire area, whatever you have uh, mapped by your total session. This is a uh, we can say general example of the using of the total station. The total station gives a much more facility to understand the land feature of any area. Okay, particularly in terms of archaeological, the in relation with archaeological site. So this was the thing which I have done during my research, and which I have an experience with archaeological exploration. That what kind of exploration we have to do, we need to do, and what are the things are going in archaeological exploration nowadays in one way. Okay, so what are the necessary things for on during archaeological exploration, which any beginner, uh, if I'm a beginner, to what kind of necessary things I have to carry with me during my archaeological exploration. The map of the area. Map is the key of archaeological study, or the historical study as well. Because if you are unable to read maps, if you are unable to understand the maps, what maps are giving to you, so it is very difficult. It will be very difficult to you to search or to locate a site. So map of the area you must uh, carry with you, either in physical form or in digital form. The GPS, being an archaeologist, I must suggest, if you are going to field, you must carry a separate GPS. The GPS, not dependent on the GPS embedded in your smartphone or in your smart camera. Okay, so next thing, your camera, your separate camera. Don't use your mobile camera and your other type of camera, because the resolution, the pixels of the photograph also counts in archaeological researches. Okay, and you need to take a notebook, either physical or a digital notebook with you. Okay, nowadays in digital notebook, there are many apps for archaeological explorations, so you can download those apps and can use their notebook. Okay, the scale, generally people says, then when an archaeologist, when an student of archaeology or archaeologist put some scale nearby an object and take the picture, uh, common man generally say that what you are doing, what is the importance of that scale, but that scale is very important for archaeology because it gives you idea after your field work that how the dimension of that object. Okay, otherwise if you are not using scale you will be confused. You can be confused between two artifacts, that how what was the dimension of any artifacts. Okay, the brushes, basic brushes you must take with you, okay, in your bag to clear the artifacts if you got during your fieldwork. Some collection bags during archaeological exploration must carry with you. You must carry some collection bags with you. Fortunately, if you get some material, some archaeological material with you, so you have to carry some specified collection bag with you, and as well as some collection tags. I'm sorry, I forgot to rename it, but it is a collection tag. Collection tag is basically a strip, paper strip, where you can mark what is the finding, where you have found it, what was the time, what was the everything, any detail. You can mention the name of your research over there, your project which you are working. So this is the basic guideline from my side to if you are willing to conduct an archaeological exploration. So I think this was all basics, and I know it was all basic. It was not such kind of use that I deliberately ignored to use some heavy words in the presentation, because I thought that it must be simple for the beginners who are willing to come in archaeology or who are newcomers in archaeology. So I suggest that please do archaeological explorations in your area, and with some of these things, basic things. And one more thing, I was inspired with the book of Mortimer Wheeler. Mortimer Wheeler has wrote a book. It is named Archaeology from Earth. Okay, I think many of you people are also know that the famous book Archaeology from Earth. But at the same time, the time is for not doing archaeology from Earth, but it is a time doing archaeology from your village or your area. So please keep doing archaeological exploration from village. With this note, with this message, thank you very much for giving me chance and for listening me, for your patience. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. If there is any questions, then I request to all the scholars. If you have any question, please ask.
May I ask one question?
Yeah. Please.
Sir, I would like to
Yeah.
know how far the Dwarka excavations has been done, and any light you can throw on it.
I'm sorry because it is not my field and I'm not working the marine archaeology. But the most of literature on it were done by Alok sir. It is available on the archaeological site, the site of archaeological site of India, and I cannot see much more on this because it is very far from my jurisdiction. So I'm sorry for this on this.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello, sir. Thank you for a very interesting thing for basics. You have covered nicely. So there was one question. If we are interested in archaeology and see the archaeological findings, do we have
Mhm.
one website or somewhere some site where we can see all the findings from most of the countries?
Yeah, excuse me. Can you
See,
repeat?
if I am interested in if I am interested in seeing the findings, archaeological findings or archaeological artifacts from a country in around the Caspian Sea, then is it possible if I want to see them?
Actually, I'm not getting your voice. Malab,
Okay.
is
Now,
is
now,
breaching for me. If if Babaji can tell me what you are asking, so that
No,
I could.
I'll try to explain again. If there are some archaeological work going on in the north, in the south of Russia, somewhere around Caspian
Okay.
Sea. So, can we see those somewhere in the website? Is there any website where I can see them? I can study them.
For
Is there
now, I
any
can.
repository, like repository where all the findings everywhere on the planet in the world they are put in and we can study them? Some
No,
sites.
actually, unfortunately, I must say that it is not possible yet. You need to search with keywords. Like if you want to say, if you want to see some work which have been done in Pacific region and South Russia, you must explore by yourself with some Google assistance and Google also, and you can see the cross references as well as which the article are being published. You can see the references of those articles. So this is the only way. So if you are willing to that you can get an entire data in a single platform, it would be not a research. It is I think you must go
Like
step by step. Thank you.
Wikipedia
Thank
of
you.
archaeology, is there? Is it there? Wiki archaeology somewhere like something like Wikipedia of archaeology. Is it there?
Not now. I think in my knowledge, there is no certain platform or extension of Google. It particularly for article. But yeah, there is some open source, open libraries in Google. So where you can search your interest subject over that. So if some books are being digitized or already are digitized and are available on online mode, so you can get all those books or your study materials over there. Thank you.
Sir, another question. In our private property land or service, if you find something or if you are trying to search, is it allowed or do you have to take permission somewhere if you want to do searches in private lands as well as public lands? What is the
No, actually, it is a policy of a government of India. If you are getting something under the surface, like beyond 1 feet or one and something, there was some specific I think things are mentioned in the rules or regulations, so that if you are getting something beyond that point, so you need to inform, you have to inform the local administrative, so that you have got something in your land. Even if you are getting something in your room, within your room even, so you have to inform the local administrator, otherwise they will trap you.
and what about public spaces? Are you allowed to search public spaces?
No, you need. That's why I make it clear earlier that if you are a person, okay, individual, if you are an open researcher, then you have very limitations with you. You need to your research. You need to do your exploration with a very use limitations. You just only can collect the surface findings, but you need to inform after that the local authority as well. So it is a very, because when I talked about that treasure hunt, then after the dilatanti, after looking the danger, what people have did in the Europe, in the Rome, in the Italy, the government of those countries was forcefully constructed some laws, some acts for preserving the artifacts or the things are archaeological importance. And even in India, there are used list of acts related to the archaeological antiquities and archaeological monuments as well. So there is some legal issues at the same time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The most important is the Indian Antiquities Act 1972 is more important for this all. You can just search in Google, you will get all the copies. Legislative Department of Government of India. In that, if you just put the words keywords such as the Antiquities Act or any other words, you will get all the PDF files of these acts. So it's easy, no problem for that to search. Is there any other question? Please be careful for the time limit also. Last question.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear
Yes,
me,
Vikram
please?
ji, yes.
Sir, I
Yeah, I
have a
can hear you.
request. Can you please share your email ID? I have several questions. I am from Shimla myself. I want to work on the hill forts. If you would be able to share your email, I would be contacting you frequently regarding your work so that I can further work in this particular field also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
We'll share the
obviously,
email
I
ID.
will share my
Yeah,
presentation with Mr.
yeah.
Pogade.
With the
So
permission,
there is
we'll
a
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Thanks a lot, sir.
So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot to all. I am sincerely thankful to नागेंद्र जी कि बहुत ही अच्छा आपने ये किया. जैसे कमेंट बॉक्स में भी कई सारे लोगों ने लिखा है कि जो बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन इस टॉपिक के बारे में होनी चाहिए कई सारे लोगों को नहीं होती है. नॉट सिर्फ आर्कियोलॉजी, आपने तो एक्सप्लोरेशन की बात कही, यहाँ तक कि आर्कियोलॉजी एक्सकैवेशन करते समय डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से भी कई सारी गलतियां कई बार हुई है. हमारे इसमें तो आंध्र प्रदेश में, तेलंगाना में इसके बारे में हाई कोर्ट में हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट ने कई सारे केसेस भी दर्ज किए कि बुलडोजर से लेकर के खुदाई शुरू हुई, यहाँ तक से केसेस शुरू हुए हैं. सो सच इम्पोर्टेंट एंड वेरी सेंसिटिव थिंग्स, we must be careful for that all. Today you explained all these things, so we are really thankful to you. और सभी हम लोगों के लिए ये बहुत ही यूजफुल रहा. मैं पनाश एनजीओ के हमारे भाई भी यहाँ पर है, तो मैं उनका भी यहाँ शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ. यू वांट टू टॉक एनीथिंग सर? प्लीज अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ.
थैंक यू सर, आप बहुत अच्छा ये कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं और सबको विश यू वेरी हैप्पी न्यू ईयर 2021 एंड होप सो कि हम कुछ ना कुछ लाइफ में आर्कियोलॉजी और हेरिटेज को लेके बहुत बड़ा दिस ईयर में कुछ करेंगे.
थैंक यू.
थैंक यू नागेंद्र जी.
या
थैंक यू.
ये आपका भी कॉपरेशन है, सहयोग है, इसलिए हम सब साथ मिलके कर सकते हैं. सो वी ऑल कम टुगेदर फॉर टू गेट समथिंग बेटर एंड शेयर द नॉलेज विथ ईच अदर. So thanks a lot again, and with the kind permission of Rawat sir, now we will stop here our today's session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.